So what does the supplier landscape for SD-WAN look like?
So we're seeing two primary models for the supply landscape of an SD-WAN. The first is the enterprise model, so off-the-shelf SD-WAN type capabilities, and the second is more of a fully managed SD-WAN capability. So if you look at the enterprise model first, the kind of buying behaviours of some of our customers around that enterprise model is it can split three ways. So some organisations are doing it themselves, effectively contracting for SD-WAN software or hardware directly from the vendor themselves. Second model is through service integrators, so we're seeing quite a lot of disruption within the service integrator ecosystem around productizing and effectively delivering a fairly robust SD-WAN capability as an enterprise solution. And the final model is around what the telcos are doing, so the telcos are also productizing enterprise SD-WAN capabilities and delivering them out as a managed service, if you like. The second model I talked about there is the kind of pure play SD-WAN managed service. So we probably class these as quite disruptive in terms of the traditional market. So we are seeing organisations delivering proprietary SD-WAN services, either as pure overlay services, effectively just WAN edge infrastructure creating a virtual mesh, or as partially managed. So they will create that overlay infrastructure, but also provide some core backbone capabilities as well. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. It might be an MPLS backbone, but then edge infrastructure and the last mile can be from multiple suppliers with a virtual overlay. So we're seeing these two areas. In terms of penetration within the market, as we mentioned, the service integrator model seems to be quite popular at the minute. They're very agile in terms of how they deliver it. They've got lots of choice and lots of skills. The telco not so much, been quite slow to come to the market in terms of productizing it, backing the right SD-WAN vendor and getting the skills and capability to sell that. And then the kind of fully managed SD-WAN providers, the more disruptors if you like, they're also picking up pace, quite a lot of interest in some of the RFPs that we're running, able to respond quite well to many of the requirements as well. So it's a very mixed market, it's quite competitive. Luckily that competition is driving down some price as well in the space.
That's really interesting. So, and you mentioned there the traditional telcos. How are they responding to what is a threat, but also an opportunity for them?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, they've been quite slow to come to the market, primarily due to understanding how to productize this and how to kind of still make money out of it ultimately. So they've started gathering a bit of pace now. So they've started backing certain SD-WAN vendors. Many of the big telcos have got more than one offering, and they're really starting to see how they can build that into their existing portfolios, how it can supplement MPLS services, how it can deliver that full end-to-end SD-WAN network, if you like. I think the other aspect to look at, particularly with the telco space, is their traditional services as well. So in order to continue to compete within the market, they've started lowering the cost of traditional services. So, you know, what we've seen in some RFPs that we've been running is when you compare the SD-WAN solution to a maybe traditional MPLS solution, particularly on a regional basis, actually the MPLS has become very competitive now, and it's not so much a compelling reason, certainly commercially compelling reason to move to the SD-WAN solution. So a bit of both really, slow to react, picking up speed, but trying to offset the challenge by reducing prices on traditional services.